Okay, so here is the parabola part of our parabola and circles review. Remember that you have two equations for a parabola. They're on the front of this sheet. One, it says horizontal directrix. That would be one that opens up or down. Like if you have a horizontal directrix, that means it's opening like this or like this. The other one says vertical directrix. That's the one that's opening left and right. Like this or like this. Now remember that what you're looking at here, this is standard form. We did a lot of things in vertex form. You would just move the thing that's over here on the left with the X or with the Y. So if you prefer to have it in vertex form here, I would just add the H or do the opposite sign of whatever H is to put it back over here. Same thing here. I would just move whatever the sign of your K is. I would do the opposite to get it back over here. All right, so graph each equation labeled the vertex, focus, and directrix. The first thing you have to be able to do is compare this to that standard form of the equation to see what you've got. So this is basically saying x equals 1 over negative 4 y minus 0 squared plus 0. That's what that's saying, because there's nothing added either inside the squaring part or outside the squared part. So 0, 0 is the vertex. That's my H and my K. Remember, H is out here for this one and K is in there. So the vertex is at 0, 0. Now the value of P, remember it's 1 over 4P. Okay, so this part right here is 1 over 4P. So if 1 over 4P equals 1 over negative 4, then P equals negative 1. Okay, so vertex is at 0, 0. This is opening because it starts with X and Y is squared. It's opening left, right. Okay, so if vertex is at 0, 0 and P is negative 1, that means to go to the focus from the vertex, I go left, and it's going to open to the left. So it looks a little something like this. That means my directrix would be right 1, the opposite direction. And there it is. And that's my answer. Next one. This one's a y equals with x squared, so it's opening up and down. I'm going to go ahead and put it in vertex form. That looks like this. So now we know that 1 over 4p equals 1 over 8. So that means p must be 2. Also, this is my h and this is my k. Remember that whatever's inside the parentheses changes sign when it comes out. So that's negative 2 for the vertex. The one that's outside the parentheses does not change sign at all. So that's my h and my k. Here's that. P is 2. Since it starts with y equals, this is opening up or down, and since it's positive, P is positive 2, it's opening up. So I go up 2 from there to get to the focus. The focus is, oh, and I didn't label my focus over here. Focus over here was at negative 1, 0. And the directrix was at x equals 1. Remember, the equation of the directrix starts with the same letter that the equation starts with. Okay, so over here, my vertex is at negative 2, negative 2. The focus is going to be at negative 2, 0. So that means it opens up like this. The directrix would be 2 down from here, so it's down here at negative 4. So y equals negative 4 is my directrix. And that's my answer to number 7. Number 8, write the standard equation for a parabola with the given characteristics. If the directrix is x equals, that means my equation is going to be x equals. So x equals 1 over 4p y minus k squared plus h. Writing out the standard form equation without anything plugged in is a really good idea a lot of the time. So now my focus is at negative 2, 3. My directrix is at x equals 2. So I have to figure out from that Here's the directrix. It says the graph is optional. If you want to do well, it's not optional. You really need to graph it. There's x equals 2, my directrix. My focus is at -2, 3. Okay? The vertex is exactly in between, perfectly in the middle, between the focus and the directrix. So if this is at -2 and this is at +2, the vertex is going to be at 0, 3, because the focus is at -2, 3, the vertex is at 0, 3. So it's going to go something like this. All right, the vertex we just said is at 0, 3. That's the H and the K. H, K. So here's my H is 0. My K is 3. And I need to know how far, what P is. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus, so that's 2. Since it's opening to the left, it's going to be a -2, or because I go to the left to get from vertex to focus. So this will be a -2. So I get x equals 1 over 4 times -2. 4 times -2 is -8. Then times y minus 3 all squared plus 0, I don't have to write. And there's my answer. Number 9, the vertex is at -5, 7. That's H and K. The directrix, let's see, where's -5, 7? I think it's right here. The directrix is at y equals -2. Okay. So vertex is at 7. Directrix is at y equals -2. This one's going to be a little bit tricky. We're going up and down here, so I'm looking at the y's. I'm looking at the difference between y is 7 up here, y is -2 down here. What's tricky about this is I'm looking for something. Oh no, I'm not. Never mind. I was thinking that was the focus. I was going to say I was looking in the middle, but this is the vertex. Wow, so that means the focus is going to be way up high. Be up here somewhere. Up in the next problem, somewhere in this area. The good news is you don't really need the actual focus. We just need to know how far we would go up to get there. Well, however far this is, that's how far we would go up to get to the focus. So this is at -2 and this is at 7. From -2 to 7 is 9. So that means I would go 9 more up to get to the focus. It's opening up, so that's a +9. So P is +9. It's up and down, so I'll start with y. Y equals 1 over 4 times P is 4 times 9. X minus a -5 is x plus 5. And then plus 7. And that's my equation. Last but not least, we have the vertex is at 9, 1. And the focus is at -1, 1. That's a long way away from the vertex and the focus. And that's a distance from this to this is 9, here to here is 1, so that's 10. So the directrix would be way over here, 10 more further right. X equals 19. We don't really need that though, thank goodness. We have our H and our K. We need to know how far this is. It's 10. Because it is opening to the left, because you would go left to get from the vertex to the focus, P is -10. It's opening in the negative direction. So now I have everything I need to have to plug in. I know that it opens left-right, which means I start with X. I know P is -10, so 4 times -10 is -40. Then I have Y minus, this is exactly like I did up here. You can, if you prefer to do this, this is not a bad idea, to write it out without anything plugged in first and then show what you're going to put where. I'm just kind of running out of space here. So Y minus K, K is 1, plus H, H is 9. And that is my answer. Get ready to have some fun on tomorrow's test. See you then.